Alright YouTube, what's up? We're back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be posting this little Lightfall prep guide. And before the video even starts, I do want to note I've got the video idea from Dado, and if you've been playing Destiny for a long time, you most likely know a lot of the things that I'm going to list here when it comes to like bounty prep, vendor rewards, resources, stuff like that, the battle pass, and specific challenges and everything. So a lot of this is just, hey, get all of this done now, that way you're not worrying too much. Or if you haven't started, or if maybe you're halfway there and you want kind of like a guide that can show you things that you want to get, that way when Lightfall comes around you're kind of prepared for more than the average player, then this is going to be a place that's going to guide you in the right direction. So with Lightfall coming around, that's our next big expansion, basically what Witch Queen was to last year. And when Witch Queen came out, we had Season of Risen, Season of the Haunted, Season of Plunder, and Season of Seraph. That's 4 seasons, and I'm pretty sure Bungie already said all 4 seasons content, meaning missions and activities, are all gonna get like not deleted, but like vaulted pretty much. It's kind of like sunsetting, but the weapons and stuff aren't gonna be useless and everything. So what I figured to do is start off with the video for weapon crafting as number 1, because weapon crafting is a big role in Destiny now, ever since it was introduced last year. And with these seasons going away, we're not sure how we're going to be able to obtain these weapons, if we even are able to obtain them. So I figured I'll shine a light on weapon crafting for a little bit, kind of recommend what weapons you should be going after now if you can, and what weapons kind of to avoid if they're not your cup of tea or whatever. But I do want to stress this before I go through the list and everything. Every weapon is completely up to you whether or not you want to get it or not. I can say that I like, Peace of Mind pulse rifle from Season of the Risen. If you don't like that pulse rifle, then you don't like that pulse rifle. Get weapons that you're going to want to play with, or you can be like me, try to get all of them. That way, regardless what happens, because next thing you know, there might be a scenario next season where snipers are the vibe, and all of a sudden you need a stasis sniper, and guess what? Season of the Risen has a sniper rifle called Thoughtless, and you can see right here, if you started now, you would have been able to craft it and all this other good stuff. But just pay attention to the weapons that I'm gonna say that I recommend, but I also want you guys to know, try to get as many as you can though. So starting off with Season of the Risen, I'm going to recommend that you go for Recurrent Impact, and it's a decent LMG right now. By no means is it like the greatest DPS of all time, but after what Bungie said is they want to nerf linear fusion rifles basically once we get into Lightfall, so that's going to open up that heavy slot. And there's a lot of other weapons that can go there. LMGs might be the play, but I would recommend trying to go after this if you can get a crafted roll. That way, if it ever does show up as a good option, you can get a god roll basically by just crafting it. And Under Your Skin is going to be the next one. And I highly recommend just going after any type of bow that is craftable, because you're able to not only craft it, obviously, get the god roll, but we've seen in a lot of seasons, there's been things like Overload bow, barrier bow, I'm not sure if we had unstoppable bow, but you get the point where I'm going. There's a lot of champion mods, and if for whatever reason there's one season that has a good bow mod or whatever, I don't know if that could exist, but you kind of want to have a bow just in case if Overload bow comes out or whatever. You want to have good bows in your kinetic or your energy slot, so keep that in mind. That's why I'm recommending Under Your Skin. And plus, it's good to have a bow for every element, in my experience in playing Destiny. If you can, get a stasis one, get a kinetic bow, get a void bow, a solar, and an arc. Just so if you're playing something that has like modifiers that are like, oh, arc burn, but you need an arc bow so you can take advantage of the burn, but then also stun champions. It's stuff like that, which is why I think having a bow for everything is good. So that's why I'm recommending Under Your Skin. And the next one and last one I'm going to recommend is Peace of Mind. And this is, to be honest, my favorite kinetic pulse rifle. It has the perk Overflow on it, which is what I really like to use on it. And for things like Barrier Pulse Rifle and stuff like that, it's pretty good, obviously. We don't know what next season's champion mods are going to look like yet, but to keep that in mind, a good solid pulse rifle is never too bad to have, especially in the kinetic slot, because the energy slot is typically where you want to match things with burns and stuff like that. So I do recommend getting Peace of Mind. Now everything else, like I said, Thoughtless, who knows? Maybe next season snipers are really OP, and this one in particular. Just try to go after every weapon, and if you can't, well, just try to get whatever guns you like or the ones that I recommended. So we're going to go from Season of the Risen, and we're just going to go here to the star chart, and this is for Season of Plunder weapons. So for Season of Plunder, we had No Reprieve, the shotgun, Tarnished Metal, the scout rifle, Blood Feud, the SMG, Bergen's Law, the sidearm, Sail Spy Pitch Glass, the fusion rifle, linear fusion rifle I should say, and Plank's Stride. And out of all of these weapons, I'm only going to recommend Bergen's Law, just because this sidearm in particular with an arc burn tied with Volt Shot and everything on it is very, very useful. And if you can craft the God Roll and then just put Volt Shot on it, that's literally one of the best like secondaries in my opinion to use for like killing ads and stuff. So that, and as of right now, we know linear fusion rifles are good, so having a Sail Spy Pitch Glass will, you know, benefit you. But again, the Taipan linear fusion rifle, which I have right here, is also really good right now, so I wouldn't go too crazy out of my way to get it. But again, if you want to think for the future, I'm not a fan of Plank Stride as LMG. I'd rather use something like Thunderlord, or if I was going to use another LMG, that's Arc. But again, try to get all of them if you can, but if you can't, those are like the two I would recommend getting. We're going to work our way to my favorite season of this last year, Season of the Haunted, and we're going to go to the Crown of Sorrow, and we're going to look at the opulent weapons and the haunted weapons. So here you can see the opulent weapons, and here we have Allstringer, Drang, Beloved, and Callous Mini Tool. Now out of these four, I'm going to recommend the Callous Mini Tool, and this one, just honestly get a roll with Incandescent on it. It's like Volt Shot, but for solar, and it's honestly using this in activities where you, let's say you have a bunch of solar shields, you get an incandescent kill, and then you start chaining all the explosions and stuff. It's really good, really useful, so that's why I'm recommending it. Now I would also recommend Drang, but just because we don't know where like sidearms are gonna go or anything, I'm not gonna like definitely recommend it. But again, these are all good weapons in my opinion. If you need like an all-around hand cannon that to be useful in your kinetic slot, I also recommend Allstringer. But the one I'm really going to recommend is Callous Mini Tool. I think you should definitely go out your way to try to get this before the season, or before Lightfall comes out, before all this stuff goes away. But here are my recommendations for that. And then for the haunted weapons, out of all of them, I'm going to recommend Tears of Contrition, the Scout Rifle. And this is one of my favorite scout rifles to use. I'm not sure if I have it on my character right now. Okay, I do. And this roll right here with arrowhead, break, accurized rounds, triple tap, explosive payload, it's really just one of my favorite scout rifles to use for all activities. So you can bring it if it's barrier or scout rifle or something. You can bring that to break barrier shields, and in a Grandmaster Nightfall, or if you need it just to go kill regular ads for, you know, a Sever mission or whatever. It does everything and it does it well. So I really do like Tears of Contrition and recommend that. The next one is going to be Bump in the Night. And Bump in the Night right here is a rocket launcher, obviously, and it's done good damage ever since it came out, to be honest. There's a bunch of different roles you can use to actually take advantage of how strong that it can be. I've seen people in clips where they do raids and they're using all Bump in the Nights and stuff like that. So Bump in the Night and Tears of Contrition are my two that I think you should go out there and get. Everything else is kind of just on the wayside. But like I said earlier, if you can and you have time to try to go after all of the weapons to craft them, then by all means try to do it just so you have all the guns. And I understand it's asking for a lot, but we're gonna go here. And for Season of the Seraph, you can see we have the Ikelos weapons and just the Seraph weapons. I'm pretty sure it's what they're called. And for the Ikelos weapons, I'm only gonna recommend Ikelos SMG, because I mean, when you look at all of these are all secondary weapons, and you know, Ikelos hand cannon really ain't nothing too crazy right now. Neither is the shotgun or the sniper, but this with Volt Shot on it, you can run pretty good. And to be honest, if you're more of a sidearm or an SMG type of person, this and Brigand's Law from Season of Plunder, you can decide if you want both of them or if you just want to get that Ikelos SMG. That's completely fine, but I would recommend getting that Ikelos SMG because this with Volt Shot is basically the same as a sidearm, but I don't know, there's something about using SMGs with like perks that proc like that. I prefer that way more. So there's Ikelos. And then for Season of Seraph weapons, the only one I'm going to recommend right now is Tripwire Canary. And just for the same reason I recommended Under Your Skin from Season of the Risen, is because it's a arc bow. And mind you, now if you get Season of the Risen one, you have a void bow that's fully craftable that you can pick all your perks. And you have an arc bow now that's fully craftable that you can pick all your perks. So you have one for void shields and arc shields. And again, it's really good to have bows of each element. I found for, you know, these seasons, if you're doing Lost Sector stuff, especially when I'm making my Legend Lost Sector videos, looking through and seeing, okay, it's a solar burn, but I need a bow for that. Okay, let me use this bow. Let me use the other bow. So it's definitely good to have these. So Tripwire Canary. I would recommend Fire and Forget just because we don't know what linear fusion rifles, what kind of nerfs they're gonna get, and we don't know if, you know, for example, if they end up nerfing like with the Taipan, the damage it does, how does that affect burst damage weapons? We don't know, because, you know, obviously they're two different archetypes, but we'll see when we get there, probably at some point. But that's gonna do it here for the weapon crafting portion. So just, if any advice I can leave you right now is, you know, if you're just getting into Destiny, it's going to be really tough to get this before, or get all the weapons before Lightfall comes out. But if you're someone who, you know, has played here and there, has a couple weapons crafted already, I recommend just trying to get the rest of them done, or at least, you know, the ones that are recommended. So with that being said, we're going to go and move on to our next part, which is going to be bounty prep. Alright, so we're here and we're going to talk about bounty prep, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my quest tab. And for those of you that don't know what bounty prep is, it's pretty much what you see right here on the right side of my screen. It's bounties that you get and you save them up basically once the new season comes out. And actually, you know, doing this at your own risk as of right now, because Bungie hasn't really announced anything on if we're still able to do it or not, because for all we know, they can change it last second and make it to where the bounties won't carry over. But ideally what happens is you get all the bounties that give XP++, and you save up as many of those as you can, and you can do this on all three characters. The more you do it, obviously the more XP you get, and you save it all up, and you wait until the new season comes out. And if you get the battle pass, you actually get bonuses like increased XP gains by 2, increase fire team members XP gains by 2, and stuff like that. So if you go into your friend's game and you start claiming bounties and stuff, you get even more XP. But this is kind of like the strat that everybody does, and this is mainly for people that want to do the day one raid and stuff like that. So obviously, you know, once the new season comes out, it resets your level and everything back to 0, like on the battle pass. Your artifact gets reset, and with storing up XP, once you claim it all, it gives you XP to level up your artifact, and you level up your battle pass and stuff like that. And you also get your, you know, power boost and everything from the bonus power from the XP. But A lot of people do it just so they can try to get to this final column here on your artifact on like day one or relatively before the day one raid happens. But me personally, I don't really do it for the day one raid because I don't try to do the day one raid. Mainly what I do it for is the battle pass, and it's not that I know that I'm not going to play Destiny, but it's more of a, okay, I'm going to play a lot of Destiny when the new DLC comes out, but who knows, maybe I take a break for a couple weeks or something. I don't have to worry too much about it because I know I claimed all the XP and everything at a new season, so I'm not too worried about if I'm going to hit rank 100 or not. And that's kind of why I do it personally, is so I can finish my battle pass faster. But I also do it for the artifact too, because, you know, for example, like 2 days after the new season comes out, you'll get, oh, the most broken mod in the game is, for example, let's just say solo operative. You need to use this on every build, or loosen finisher, right? And people are gonna say, man, I need a bunch of XP if I'm gonna reach it to the end of the artifact. Oh, well, not me, because I used all my XP and I can get it right now, right? So stuff like that is why I do it. And the way, like I said, you're going to want to do this is you're going to want to get a lot of XP plus plus bounties. Now, where you're going to get these is the Dreaming City, and you're going to get them from Petra. One of them is going to be to complete the Blind Well. You can see it right here. Gateway Between Worlds is what it's called. And the other one is going to be the Ascendant Challenge. So you can get one is going to last forever, and that's the Blind Well. So once you pick that up, you can't do it again until you claim it and do it like the next week or whatever. But the whole point of this is to pick it up and leave it in your inventory. The Ascendant Challenge ones are on a rotation. So for example, we have like 5 weeks left in the season, right? So if you get your Ascendant Challenge this week, and then you keep doing it once every other week, you'll get 6 Ascendant Challenges with XP plus plus on it, and you'll be able to claim as much efficient XP as you can, right? That's the goal, is every week you keep adding on to the Ascendant Challenge. That's why you can see here I have 1 Ascendant Challenge, then I have the week before, and then I have this week's. So that's why I have 3 so far. And when it comes to other ones that give good XP, it's the Star Horse bounties. This one is the 300k, you know, complete it with a good score. It gives you like 3 objectives. So there's that one. Then Europa also has them, and these are also on a rotation. So you can see I have during the Empire Hunt, the Warrior is this one. And this one, really all you have to do is just get the precision kills and then complete it. And then there's also the Dark Priestess and the Techno Rat. So there's only 3 weekly. There's a 3-week rotation for it. And if you can get on, do 1 week, save the bounty. Do the second week, save the bounty. The third week, save the bounty. After that, you can't pick up any more. And then you'll also get, similar to the Dreaming City, you'll get on Europa, complete Lost Sectors, public events, and patrols. That will give you XP++. Save that. And again, you can do this on all 3 characters, so keep that in mind. So once you move on from the Europa bounties, you can go to the Moon, and the Moon is going to give you the Nightmare Hunts, which you basically just grab these and then complete it, and then you leave them there. And then you also go to Eris, and then you get the loot, the 3 chests on the Moon's Lost Sectors. They'll tell you which ones to go to, and then they'll also tell you to complete Waves of Altars of Sorrow. You complete that, and these both give XP++. They just don't say it for whatever reason. But those are your main sources, along with the Cosmodrome. When you go there, you're gonna just see these 2, and it's gonna be complete or defeat combatants in the Cosmodrome with Arc, Void, and Solar damage, and then complete public events on the Cosmodrome. And once you complete those are all your XP++. And after that, you can just fill up the rest of your inventory with just these regular bounties with XP+. And yeah, I would recommend, once you do all the XP++ and you have them saved up, just get 8 Gunsmith bounties, 8 Vanguard bounties, and 8 Crucible bounties, and then 8 Gambit bounties. That way, once the new season comes out, and you get your pinnacle gear and stuff, then you're able to claim that powerful gear from the tower. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this here. You can see it says complete Vanguard bounty 0 out of 8. You get powerful gear and bright dust. So when a new season comes out and everybody's trying to like increase their light level right off the bat, that's something you can also do if you want to be really efficient. So that's that. But I also want to include a tip here when it comes to talking about these bounties. Is in my case it says I can do up to 39, but I can claim more bounties that probably fill up this and maybe a little bit more of the third page. But how many quests you have actually affects how many bounties you can hold. For example, if you have like 3 pages full of quests, then you're not going to be able to hold as many bounties as somebody with less, like me. And for example, these two I will definitely finish before the season ends. That way I have extra slots. But stuff like this, the Xenology quest that you can get from Xur, which is just, it's like play activities or whatever. I usually just do strikes and then I'll finish it, and then it says return and speak to Xur and you'll get one in return. But I'm not doing that because I already have one in my inventory. And this is what's going to lead me into our next one, which is going to be materials and resources. So make sure you're kind of stocked up, or try to be stocked up if you can, on Ascendant Shards and Ascendant Alloys, along with enhancement prisms and the upgrade modules, because all of this is useful for crafting and upgrading armor and stuff like that. So that's things to look out for. And if I can show you here at Raoul, you go over here, he's gonna have things like material exchange, and then you can get, you know, an enhancement prism by giving him 10 enhancement cores and 10,000 glimmer. Or if you need an ascendant shard, you give him 10 enhancement prisms and 50,000 glimmer. But I think this is once per week, so keep that in mind. And then you can see special orders here if you want to buy enhancement prisms, 400 legendary shards, 30 legendary shards for enhancement cores, and 400 for ascendant alloys. So they're definitely not cheap, but if you want to stock up beforehand, you can definitely do that. But I don't really do that just because I know I play a lot of Destiny, so I'm not going out my way. For example, if this was 1-in-1, then I would start buying stuff, but I know that I'll end up playing a lot of Destiny anyway, so obtaining it really isn't a problem. And that's also why I'm making this video, is because this week is double Vanguard rewards when you complete a Nightfall. And I really gotta walk away from this guy because he's gonna keep talking. But just so you can see here, we have Nightfalls, but you also have a Grandmaster Nightfall that just came out, and it's Insight Terminus this week, so it's more of the easier ones. And this one, if you complete it with the double rewards and everything, it pretty much, you're like guaranteed to get enhancement prisms, upgrade modules, like all that good stuff. You're basically guaranteed to get it if you can, you know, play a bunch of Grandmaster Nightfalls. So if you want to stock up because you're low, you can definitely do that. So that's gonna do it for the bounty prep, but also the resources and materials from Destiny 2 leading into Lightfall. Alright, so here's the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and it's vendor rewards slash, I don't know, just rewards in general, like rank rewards here. For example, you can see I'm legend rank with Zavala, rank 16, and once I fill up this bar, it's gonna tell me like, you know, reputation overflowing, whatever, to go reset my rank and basically prestige with him. And you can see once you hit rank 16, you can get, you know, ascendant shards and stuff like that. So make sure before, and you know, I usually do this right before the season comes out, so I'll make sure like the night before or whatever, I'll log on, I'll claim all the Vanguard gear bounties, I'll see if I could reset my rank, I'll claim it, get as many, you know, enhancement prisms, enhancement cores, whatever. And I should also claim this because this gun is actually very good. But yeah, just make sure you claim all your gear and stuff. That way, once the new season comes out, I've had many seasons where I don't claim it and I'll miss out on like anything that would have been here or stuff here, because none of this carries over, I'm pretty sure. So try to make sure you claim your vendor rewards and everything. So there's that. Now, talking about exotics is also something I want to mention because we only have two exotic quests, which, I mean, I don't know if you want to call them quests, but in the throne world, once you complete Witch Queen, you can get Dead Messenger. I would recommend doing this. This isn't gonna go away like the weapon crafting is, like the seasons and stuff, I'm pretty sure. Or, you know what, actually I think it is, because this is like a Season of the Risen thing. I'm not sure if it says it anywhere, but yeah, this was introduced in Season of the Risen, so for all we know is it might go away, it might not, but I recommend doing it now anyway, because, you know, once Lightfall comes out, you're going to want to be playing the new stuff. You don't want to stay playing the old things, trying to catch up, so try to do it now if you can. Vox Obscura to get the Dead Messenger, but also get the Catalyst for completing it on Master difficulty for that one quest up that you can see right here. And the other quest is actually here in the Helm, which is for this season, the Revision 0, and that's the Pulse Rifle, and you can, it's going to make you play Seraph Shield normal, then you got to play it on Legend, and then get the exos and stuff like that. And just so you can see, this is it here, and I have some perks and stuff on it. But yeah, try to go out your way and get those, because like I said, when Lightfall comes out, you don't want to be playing old content if it's there, and for all we know, this stuff is going to go away, and who knows how we're going to obtain it. I think they're probably just going to do what they did with Dead Man's Tale and Hawkmoon, and that's just put the guns with Xur. But I don't know how you would put Revision 0, because it's crafted. It's actually a great question, but I don't know how that's going to work. But there's the exotics. Now, I also want to mention the Battle Pass is one thing, because it seems kind of obvious, like claim your Battle Pass stuff. But as you can see here, if I take you to the start, I did claim some of it at the start of the season, but you can see stuff like this, the Eververse engrams, just claim them. If you get anything good, you get anything good. But you can also claim your Bright Dust, that way you're stocked up, or you have as much as you can. Try to claim all your legendary shards, that way you can have as much when the new season comes out. And what you can do is, there's a way, it involves like downloading some extension or something like that, then you go to bungie.net and you could claim prior battle passes. If you want to look that up, I'll probably put a YouTube video in the description below that explains it a little better. But what you can do is claim, like for example, if you don't claim any gear but you've hit level 100, and let's say you're running low on Glimmer and you want to claim Glimmer from Season of the Seraph's battle pass, you can definitely do that. So don't feel like you have to claim everything. I usually, like for the exotic engram, since I have every exotic and I'm not like in particularly trying to get any exotic right now, I'll just leave them. That way once the new season comes out or whatever, and let's say I'm looking for some exotics or anything that I need, maybe all of a sudden one exotic is the best exotic to use, I can go to my old battle passes and see if I can get a good roll or anything. But there's that. You can also claim these weapons. 4th time's the charm on this. I mean, Retrofit Escapade just got nerfed, but with volatile rounds and everything, if you like sparrows and stuff like Ghost, you can definitely claim that, and don't forget it. Claim your exotic. It sounds weird, but there's actually one point where I didn't claim any exotics. I would just forget, or I just didn't care. So there's that one. Don't be like me. And the last thing I'm going to mention is, here's another exotic cipher, but there's also armor in the battle pass. Now, some of the armor, I think this is a decent armor piece right here, because I usually spec in resilience and discipline, and you can see it's a total of 63 stat roll. Now usually I want like 65 at the minimum, but you can see a 63 with 15 resilience and 16 discipline. That's not too bad. Mobility on a hunter, you really don't care about that, but you know, here you can see we have a 62 and a resilience and discipline increase, which isn't bad. You have a cloak. Here we have a chest piece with a 68 that is 30 in resilience and 22 in discipline. So you can see some of this armor is actually pretty good, and look, it's resilience and discipline. I don't know if this is the armor for everybody, but I'm actually kind of shocked. This is the first time I looked at it besides the start of the season. And also, just claim this, the universal ornaments and stuff like that for the armor. And if you have 3 characters, just claim it on all 3. That way you can have them unlocked. You can claim them later on, like I said, but it gets a little tricky with downloading like Chrome extensions or Firefox extensions or whatever. Get your emotes, that way you don't miss it out. But just basically claim the battle pass, things you want. Or if you want to be smart and save like Ascendant Shards and Alloys and Exotic Engrams, you can definitely do that. It's all up to you. But along with the battle pass, you're also going to want to claim your challenges. And I say claim the challenges just because there's Bright Dust tied to these. It's always good to have Bright Dust. That way, let's say the next armor set that costs Bright Dust every week is going to be fire. The next thing you know is you could buy all of it and not have to worry about it. So just get the free Bright Dust, and you can also get stuff like a Nightfall weapon. I'm not sure if they still do it, but the Trials of Osiris, you can get like a weapon from completing that one, but I don't know if it's here. But there's that, and also when you do 72 of them, you get a large Bright Dust pile. So I'm never one to turn down free Bright Dust. So keep that in mind. And triumphs and seals, you're going to want to go after these if you haven't gotten the ones you want. For example, if you look over here, let's go, we're Season of the Risen. For example, here's Season of the Risen's triumphs. You can see, I thought I didn't have this, to be honest, because I didn't like this season. I barely played this season, but it looks like I did enough to get the seal. So if you want the triumphs and the seals, make sure you get them, because this Risen Triumph seal is going to go away. The Haunted Triumph seal is going to go away, and all the triumphs associated with it. The Scallywag seal for Season of the Plunder is going to go away. And I believe this Season of the Seraph is also going to go away, so I really have to start working on this. And I mean, I don't really have too much left to do, so it's not that bad. But yeah, if you want those seals or those triumphs, anything related to that, make sure you get this done before Lightfall comes out. And the last little thing I want to mention is Ada's bounties, which I'm honestly just going to fast travel to the back of the tower because I am incredibly lazy. So Ada's bounties, these are the Synthweave bounties, whatever they're called. Actually, I don't know, they give these currencies, which is used for Synthweave straps at the loom in the tower. And I think that's the Hunter one, is the blue one. The other ones, different colors, are for different classes, like Titan and Warlock. So I'm just going to make my way towards Ada. And if you find that you have nothing else to do, or maybe if you're doing bounties, and I usually just go for these, the Destination Threader ones, because you can get stuff like either complete 10 public events, or it'll tell you like do 4 Empire hunts or anything like that. The odds are it's going to give you something to do. You can see I've completed 1 out of 10 for this season, and I don't think these carry over, but if they do, you can feel free to correct me down below. But you can see if maybe you're a PvP only person, you can get Crucible ones, you can get Vanguard ones, Gambit, and these just allow you to have currency to where you can unlock things. For example, let me just deposit this so I can get it out of my inventory. So yeah, I deposit that. I got the Synthweave strap currency. So now I'm gonna go here to my appearance customization, and let's say for my legs, I want some old gear that I have on my character. I don't know, let me see. I'm going to try to make it worth my while and try to get something that... Do I have like Dead Orbit legs or something? Solstice. I don't really know what I want to get right now. But yeah, let's say if I wanted these, I can just go here and it's unlocked. You can see that I'll unlock it and it'll give me 6. I can get 6 of them. So there's that. Use that if you want to like drip out your character before Lightfall comes out. or if you want, save them up. So when Lightfall comes out, any armor and stuff that you get that's not a universal ornament, you can turn into a universal ornament. So there's that. Alright guys, and before this video ends, I just wanted to highlight Destiny recipes. Link for this will be in the description as well. And this is going to be a useful guide for some, and for some people you might not even need it, but I don't know, I find it pretty useful. And when you go to destinyrecipes.com, here they have things like the pre-seasonal checklist, loot companion, vault cleaner, power level progress. I mainly use it for the pre-seasonal checklist, and here they give you like a prep score, and they show you how many or where you're lacking basically, or if you're, you know, in a good spot. For example, I need more resources. I'm almost there to having 100 score in stored XP. Vault space, I only have 6 open slots, so I gotta clean that. And on top of that, I'm using my postmaster as a vault, so hopefully when Lightfall comes around we can get more vault slots, but I am willing to pay for some extra vaults, I'm not gonna lie. So there's the resources, and here again this just shows you where you're lacking, and they more or less want you to be like at max capacity for all of them. So they want me to have 10 Ascendant Shards, 25 upgrade modules. I'm not too worried about them now, but there's that. And they also talk about vault space, so you can see apparently I have 4 free spaces instead of, oh wait, that's how many points I have. Okay, so I only have 4 slots, and you want at least 50 free spaces, 1 page. So yeah, I'm gonna have, and they even tell you like, look, this is how many weapons I have in my vault. I have 13 pieces of armor, 0 equipment, 15 currencies, and 2 others. I don't know what others means, but there's that. Here's where we're gonna go though. Stored XP, and I'm gonna put show bounties, and you can see stored XP, how much I have right now on my character, how much I have with all the bounties that are unfinished, and the UI. I remember the first time I saw this last year before Witchwing came out, I was like, oh my god, why didn't anybody tell me about this website before? And it really is a cool website. They have a list here for every bounty, so you can know which ones have the largest amounts of XP and which ones don't. And how I genuinely just look at it is go for the higher numbers first, and then go for the lower numbers. And it's pretty simple. You can see here I have most of these done on my hunter, my warlock, but on my titan I got 1 done, and then I just picked up the rest. And I have some other bounties here that are actually from like Season of the Risen, probably, I don't know, but this is more bounties and stuff that you can take a look at for your own time and decide whether or not you want to keep adding or not. You do need extra like quest inventory slots, so if you don't have a lot of quests but you have a lot of bounty slots, that's good. But remember, if you have a lot of quests like the catalyst missions, just the beyond a weapon or whatever it's called for this season, the season of the Seraph quest, that all takes up a slot, so you won't be able to carry as many bounties, so keep that in mind like I mentioned earlier. But with all of that being said, that's gonna do it for this. I do want to note very quickly though, for Ascendant Challenge, I'm not sure if I said it already, I don't think I did, but unless it was in a prior recording, that you can see here Ascendant Challenge, Ascendant Challenge, Ascendant Challenge, and Ascendant Challenge. For you, if you look at this probably now or later, you're only going to have 1 Ascendant Challenge. These are the ones I've been saving up from prior weeks, and I think if you do 1 every week until Lightfall comes out, you should have all of them, because I think, actually I don't know, because we're 5 weeks away I think from Lightfall, but I think the Dreaming City's on a 6-week rotation, so I don't know if maybe this week counts and then you might be able to get in time. I don't know. More of the story, try to get as many Ascendant challenge bounties as you can, 1 every week basically until Lightfall comes out. And if you have 2 other characters, try to do it on your other characters as well. I understand at this point in time, especially before a major DLC, a lot of people are either playing the game last minute to do stuff like this, or they're just not playing the game at all so they don't get burnt out, which is completely fine. I honestly respect that, But yeah, I'm doing this just because, like I said, high light level stuff. For later on, you don't have to worry too much about the bonus XP and the battle pass and everything. So that's gonna officially do it for this video. If you learned anything new, I would really appreciate a like on the video or maybe a comment. Subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss another video. Drop a follow on my Twitch, twitch.tv/MonkisJam0. I've been going there live minimum 2 hours every day. I think I've done it every day for the last week, so I'm kind of proud of that. Can't wait to play some more. I streamed Call of Duty last night. I've been streaming a lot of COD now, but I am going to be playing some more Destiny, especially just doing pinnacles and stuff, trying to get dungeon exotics and just all different things in Destiny. So if you want to just drop by, really appreciate that. Always trying to welcome new people into the community. But other than that, like I said, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.